Hi there, Internet. It's Anthony, and I'm about to do another reaction to The Walking Dead. This is Season 4, Episode 14, The Grove. And, I have pretty low expectations of this episode. It's probably going to be a boring, episode. I don't know. I don't really have much to expect. I mean, it just seems like it's going to be a boring one. And actually, I'm just trying to be ironic because I've seen multiple comments talking about how much they can't wait to see my reaction to this episode. So I imagine there must be something special about this episode. So I guess I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what that's going to be. But I have no idea what to expect. I just want to see if they're going to make it to Terminus or if people are going to start meeting back up with each other or what's going to happen. I don't know. I'm just excited to see. And now y'all have got my hopes up, so it better be something exciting going on here. So let's go ahead and get into the episode. Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 14, The Grove. Griselda? Like the group? What y'all know about that? Griselda.
Do you think there'll be kids there? At Terminus?
You're really building Terminus up.
Like Tyrese kept all of you safe?
I saved Tyrese.
She was like, let's get that straight.
Shooting at him. Did you have kids?
Oh, snap. She's really going there. I mean,
kid.
They're going there with Sophia.
She didn't have a mean bone in her body.
Is that why she's in here now?
Dang.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's okay to talk about it. It's just I'm like, she's just so blunt the way she said that. Dang, what's going on with Tyrese?
No.
That's awkward. Nightmares in this world must be crazy.
Full.
What do you mean?
Can't get out.
Yeah, but she doesn't see what they are. She thinks they're just different.
She still just thinks that they're just different. They still haven't really gotten into that yet either. Like with the whole
Mika, this
they haven't really gotten into that girl's crazy obsession with these walkers. I still think it was her that had them rats or whatever.
Finn, you're not even grossed out by dead rabbits.
Forgot you used to read to him.
Not even grossed out by dead rabbits, huh? Hold on, wait, did you see that face she made? I just wanna
Huck, Finn, you're not even grossed out by dead rabbits.
Forgot you
yeah,
used
she
to
really
read
looked
to
at her
him.
like, stop.
I did.
Don't say that in front of them. That was a nice, subtle little look, too. Wait, who's that coming? Is that... Oh, is that just a walker? Or I feel like it might be a person. It looks like a walker from afar. Hopefully it's someone they know. It's just gonna be a... Oh no, it's just a walker. Oh well. I was hoping it was gonna be one of those things where it was someone that just was walking with a limp.
Tyrese!
Uh-oh. So that's where we're going with this.
Sometimes
Lizzie,
we
don't.
have to kill them. I know that. Sometimes we don't.
Lizzie don't want to let this happen.
And it wasn't enough. That's why I taught the kids at the prison to do more than that.
Dang.
Tell Walker.
And it's cool too when you think about it that way.
Try.
I don't know if I had made that much of a connection with that. That, part of the reason why Carol probably wants to teach these kids so much is because of Sophia, and the fact that Sophia died. And so now she's trying to fix that in a way. As much as she can, even though obviously it can't be fixed retroactively.
I'm not like my... Someone killed Karen and David. I just killed them.
It was her.
They were nice.
What about people who
The
try
lady
to kill
right
you?
in front of you. Oh snap, is that fire they smell?
Everything
That must
works out
be-
the way it's supposed to.
The one that I just now put that together. That Daryl and Beth did.
We're still going to Terminus, right?
Just stay a day or two. There's a well full of water. The fences, they're not
Talk
big,
about
but
terming
there's
this like it's an
something.
amusement
We
park
saw
or something
deer.
that they're going
With
to.
pecans, we should be able to kill one to eat.
Yeah, that must be the fire
That's what we were smelling.
that Beth and Daryl
It's
started.
far enough away. You girls, you sit tight. You don't come in until we come out, no matter what you hear.
Okay.
Lizzie's got Judith. Mika, get out your gun. You're gonna need to stand watch.
Stand
Why
strong.
we keep on putting Judith with Lizzie? Lizzie gonna mess around and kill Judith at some point. Lizzie. Okay, nice headshot. That was probably really loud for them. Like, she shot that gun right by Judith and Lizzie's heads.
Why are you upset, Lizzie? Are you scared?
She's upset because her best friend
Why are
died.
you crying?
Don't you get mad at Mika. I feel like we're going to dark territory with Lizzie. I don't know.
Lizzie, I'm sorry
I see
yelled
some
at you.
crazy stuff in her future.
Look at the flowers like you're supposed to. Look what I found. I'm gonna name her Griselda Gunderson.
So that's what the intro was? Because that was them in the intro, right? Saying
We
Griselda.
got plenty of water. I'm not used to this.
Used to what?
We in a living room,
Right.
in a house.
What a fireplace.
Yeah. So relax.
It's become hard to relax in this world.
No.
Lizzie. Lizzie's talking about no.
She wanted a friend.
She wanted to kill you.
I was gonna lead her away.
You could have died.
It's the same thing. You killed her. You killed her. It's the same thing.
Oh my gosh. She said, what if I killed you?
You don't understand. You don't understand.
Lizzie, are you alright?
You have to. You killed her. You killed her.
Tyrese is in there looking like, oh my gosh. I'm just gonna back away from the window and pretend I didn't see nothing. I don't even think she wants to kill that.
I can't.
Dang, her and Lizzie are almost like polar opposites. Well, no, they're actually very similar, but just in very different ways. You know what I mean?
I know Lizzie and Mika. I know Judith. I know you. I trust you.
You don't know her as well as you think, though, because she
I don't know
killed
if I
the
can
people
get
that
anywhere else.
you loved or whatever. Like, I wonder, like, if Tyrese is ever gonna find out about that. I feel like they're gonna make him find out about it eventually somehow. I don't know how he would. I guess Rick could tell him. I don't know. Especially after he's connected with Carol so much. They're building up this relationship, and so I'm just feeling like he's probably gonna end up finding out about that and be really hurt and betrayed. Yep, here she go with the rat. I knew it was her. Yep.
No. I can hear them.
She talking about she can hear them.
Maybe I should change.
Lizzie, stop playing.
Stop it. See.
Whoa, that is scary.
Lizzie, they're coming. Lizzie!
That was like the scariest walker I've seen. Oh my gosh. They look like they were forged in the bowels of hell. Look at that one right there, like. Here we go. What happened to them being your friend now, Lizzie? They're not cute enough anymore? They literally look like their heads were just red, like how Lucifer be looking when he turns into his devil face on the show Lucifer.
I know. I know what I have to do now.
Is she gonna say she has to become one of them? She can be like, I have to feed Judith to them.
It's scary and it does change you.
When we were getting closer and closer, I realized I'm just not ready to be around other people yet.
Oh yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, might as well use this place while y'all can. Keep terminus in your back pocket.
I dream about Karen.
Uh-oh. Is that who he was dreaming about earlier?
I lose all over again.
I wonder, I mean, would Carol come clean and tell him? I don't know what benefit that would do anybody. Makes so much sense that these two would end up being the two paired together.
What's the difference between beer nuts and deer nuts? Beer nuts are around $1.79. Deer nuts are just under $1.
Okay.
Get stupid. But
I knew it was gonna in some way actually relate to deer testicles. Yo, what? Did she kill Mika?
Don't worry. She'll come back. I
To
didn't
turn
have
her
to wait.
into a walker? Yo, and I was just kidding when I said the thing about Judith. I didn't know she was gonna do anything to Mika though. And Judith is just looking there.
No. We have to wait.
This girl's crazy.
You'll see. You'll finally
I could
get it.
I
We
said there
have
was
to wait.
something dark coming with her. But I don't even think I saw this coming. I didn't know it was gonna be this dark. Man, what?
No.
How do they even handle this situation?
But Judith can change too. I
No.
was just about.
She can't even
She said I was just about to.
Yeah, you're right.
She was about to do Judith too, for real. Oh my goodness. See, in my mind, I was half expecting her to do something to Judith for some reason. I don't know why I keep on thinking something's going to happen to Judith. Like, but I was expecting, you know how she's been having them rats? When I joked about it earlier, I did kind of have in my mind this idea of her offering Judith up to one of the things as her next sort of like, you know, offering or whatever. But I don't know. I just did not think she would go and kill Mika. Like, what? That's crazy.
take Judith back to the house and we'll have lunch.
Carol really just stuck her with Tyrese.
I'll use her shoelaces.
Tyrese like, why'd you just tell her to go with me? Now she's got to stab Mika in the head. What are they going to do with Lizzie? Like, do they have to kill her now? Do they have to put her down?
They should found this rabbit. Pulled apart and nailed to a board. That was her too.
Mm-hmm. That's why
She was just having fun.
they've been foreshadowing how crazy she was this whole season.
Maybe she killed Karen and David. But I don't know how she could drag them away.
She would have let them turn. She can't be around other people.
She needs to die.
Maybe we could try to help her. Talk her back somehow.
I mean, I really hope they can.
That's how she is.
But
Was already there.
I wonder, like, did the
I
world bring
should've
this out of
seen it.
her? Or was she just already like this, I wonder? I mean, this seemed like the type of thing you just have to have already been like,
So maybe we go.
regardless of apocalypse.
Me and Judith.
She doesn't even realize how crazy she is. I guess most crazy people don't.
Pick
Well,
some
I could be
wildflowers
crazy and
for
not
Mika.
even realizing it.
Smoke's white. It's out.
Judith just sat and watched that murder happen
You know
too.
everything,
Now she's
right?
gonna grow up and be like Dexter.
I'm sorry I pointed my gun at you. I just needed you to wait.
She's not mad at you because you pointed your gun at her.
I know.
What is wrong with you?
Sorry. You're mad at me.
I can't believe she is out here surprised
Lizzie.
that she's mad at her. Oh my gosh, this is terrible. Like, they're just saying, there's not.
Flowers.
Oh, is she about to kill her? There's not room in the world for Lizzie right now. That sucks. Like, I hate to almost want to advocate killing her, but it's like there's not room for her right now. There aren't any mental hospitals and stuff like that running. She's just gonna have to kill her. She gotta put her down like a sick dog. Carol be doing what has to be done. I mean, like, oh my gosh. I bet Tyrese's gonna put it together too. That Carol's the one that did Karen and David from seeing that. Because it is similar, right? Like Karen and David were sick. And Carol just killed them before they even got a chance to try to be better. Same with her. Although, to be honest, I kind of understand it a little bit more in this case. Like, I mean, because she literally killed another person. And was talking about actively attempting to kill a baby. Might have even tried to kill Carol and Tyrese eventually. I don't know. I mean, maybe they could find some medication for her or something. They could have, but I don't know. It just... Dang. I mean, it's like the only circumstance where I could be like, yeah, let's go ahead and kill that little girl. I get it. Tyrese knows.
I killed Karen and David.
Now he definitely knows. Truth will set you free, huh? I don't know. I almost feel like... I don't even know if I feel like this was the best idea. I mean... I don't think Tyrese is going to turn around and kill her or anything. But, like...
It was quick.
Maybe hearing the confirmation of this stuff will help him. What if he just killed himself right now?
Do what you have to do.
He's not going to kill Carol.
I forgive you.
He forgives her.
We don't need to stay.
At this point, it seemed like it would be depressing staying there. It's just a reminder.
We can't stay.
Yeah. That shot out that window. They keep on going back to it. I feel like we... Oh, there's Griselda.
Afraid to kill. I'm just afraid.
Are they gonna go kill that walker now? Or just leave it be? Yeah, don't need to waste the energy. Wow, what a crazy episode, right? Like, sheesh. The show constantly seems to find a way to get darker and darker and take turns that you wouldn't expect and do things that you might just, think about jokingly in your head, like, oh, that would be crazy if that happened. And then they find a way to actually do something even worse than what you joked about in your head. So, I don't know. I mean, I definitely really appreciate the fact that it feels like this episode, and a lot of the episodes they've been doing lately, it feels like they're purposely doing things that they've been setting up for a long time. And they're allowing these episodes right now to sort of be the, like I said, they're slowing things down, but they're also becoming the culmination of a lot of stuff. So the first half of the season, there was so much stuff going on with the disease and the governor and all that. And they were just peppering all those little things into it as we went. And what it's starting to look like this second half of the season is shaping out to be is really sort of the culmination of all those small little things that were happening in the background of the first half of the season. And this episode, we really got a payoff on everything Lizzie and also on the whole Carol with Karen and David situation. So first of all, starting off with Lizzie, I mean, it's been pretty evident for a while now that she was somewhat off and she was somewhat crazy. And I think the show it's been kind of, it was a few things that was happening in those first, half of the season that were making it pretty apparent that Lizzie was probably the person who was feeding the rats to the walkers. And, that you could basically tell that they were going somewhere with Lizzie that they just had not gone yet. And I was wondering what exactly it was going to be because, first of all, the concept in and of itself of this little girl actually liking the walkers and being like, no, they're my friend, we can't just go and kill them. It's somewhat reminiscent of like things like, Herschel at first not wanting to kill them and wanting to put them in the barn and stuff, and maybe another person we've seen who had a similar thought process, but it's a much more childlike version of that, a much more like, imaginative version of that. And so it still feels very fresh and very different. And so the moment it happened, I'm just like, oh wow, yeah, this is an interesting route for them to take. But the way that they just slowly built it up and had Lizzie go from just seeming like this kid who had a little bit too active of an imagination because she was thinking that walkers were her friend, to starting to become clearly a psychopath, or whatever the word would be, I just thought it was done pretty well. And so by the time it got to this episode and she kills Mika, yeah, like it was shocking. It leaves you like, what, they really just went there, but it also wasn't surprising. Like it didn't feel like it came out of the blue. It wasn't like, okay, so are they just being shocking just to be shocking at this point? Like, no, because it felt like this really seemed like something that character would do. So I just really enjoyed the way that they pulled that off. And then also on the other end, I feel like this episode simultaneously managed to be extremely dark and grim and dreary while also being very optimistic at the very end. So, we've been seeing the fallout of David and Karen being killed for a while. We saw how it affected Tyrese earlier in the season. We saw Rick finding out and kicking Carol out. And then we could see, even throughout this episode, how it was weighing on Carol. So the whole time I'm thinking, wow, like they are building this relationship up between Carol and Tyrese to, for them to get close. But once Tyrese finds out, that's going to hurt so much. And who knows what he's going to do. But then the way they have it at the end there, where Tyrese kind of he watches Carol go out and kill that little girl, Lizzie. And he understands that she had to do it. And he understands why she did it. And then she comes back in there and he can see how much pain she's in. Like, by the way, the acting performances by them were amazing this episode. And he can see how much pain she's in. And she literally slides the gun across the table and then tells him that she's the person that killed Karen and David. Meaning effectively she was committing suicide because I'm sure she expected him to get, super angry and just murder her then and there. So the fact that all that happened and it led up to that point, I felt like all of that contributed to Tyrese actually being able to look, and like he said, he could tell that it was weighing on her. He could tell that it had become a part of her now, and he forgave her. And that to me is where it just was like a super optimistic turn. Forgiveness is still one of those core principles of humanity in a way, in my opinion, that as long as it still exists, we still have some type of hope, like forgiveness and empathy and compassion, things like that. So the fact that even in this world, as crazy as things have gotten, as bad as things have gotten, as much as that hurt Tyrese, he could look and see how much pain Carol was in. And he could understand that even if he didn't agree with what she did, I guess he could see why she felt she needed to do it at the time. And he was like, you know what, I'm going to, for this, forgive you. And I just thought that was pretty impactful, especially after what they just showed happened. Them walking up and finding Lizzie having murdered her sister. So I just went back and looked at the cold open. I didn't even notice that this was the walker right here. I thought it was both the two little girls. So why were they saying Griselda? I thought Griselda was the doll. Where's Griselda out here right now? But anyway, yeah, it's cool how they opened it up like this. So it basically, I like them when the walk sometimes where the cold open without really saying anything or without doing anything. It gives you a huge indication of what's about to happen, and you don't even know why yet. But like you can see her playing with the walker right there, and so it's huge foreshadowing that this is going to probably get really deep into Lizzie's dark side. One thing to also think about is how much more this probably weighs on Carol, given the fact that she lost Sophia too, and she probably kind of saw those two little girls in a way as like not versions of Sophia, but I'm sure that they kind of put her in the mind of her, and they felt like, her daughters now, in a way. And unfortunately, Sophia, what did she say about her? She didn't have a mean bone in her body. And then I think she used that same phrase to describe Mika. And they illustrated that with Mika not being able to kill the deer. And also Mika was saying, I couldn't even kill humans. If I don't even wish I was able to kill humans, because it's just not right, in her opinion. It's not right for her. So then Lizzie, on the other hand, similar in some ways in that she doesn't want to kill walkers and everything, but also very different, because it felt like Mika's place was coming from more of a place of, I don't know, just human, like caring about other humans and just caring about life. Mika, like, clearly doesn't care about life. She almost cares about death more, because she liked The Walking Dead so much that she would turn her sister into one of them. Like, she took the life from her sister. Like, just, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. So anyway, so it kind of shows how even these people with these two very different mindsets can both be similar, in that in some ways it seems they just don't really work for this world. Like, they're not compatible. They're not going to be able to continue in this world. You know what I mean? Like, Sophia wasn't able to because she wasn't tough enough. That's why Carol was trying to toughen up Mika. Like, you could say that, what's her name? Lizzie was too tough. I don't know how you want to put it, but still, I mean, I just don't know if there was any way Lizzie could have continued on in this world. And Mika, I want to think she could have continued on, but it's like, she kind of had a target on her back in a lot of ways, in being that, that nice person with no mean bone in their body that doesn't want to kill anybody. Because even her own sister decided, I'll go and kill her. So, I mean, I don't know. When you look at it, the show is showing us this whole time that there was no way these two were going to last in this Walking Dead universe. And it's crazy the lengths that characters have to go in order to be able to adapt to this. People are no longer the same as what they were when they came in. But I really think Lizzie, I don't know whether I feel like this is something that has been in her. Like, maybe this brought it out in a different way than it would have, but it seems like this is something that has just straight up been in her. And it's crazy that they started this all out too with, not started it out, but the first sort of reference we got to it was when Carl was naming the pigs, right? And then Lizzie was naming the walkers, and Carl turned around and was like, no, don't do that. Like, that right there, I just thought that was like, meant to be I thought they just had them do that because, they wanted to tie things together with what Rick had told Carl in the show, that Carl had learned something from Rick. But then, no, that blossomed into a whole other thing. So it's cool how the stuff that the show does works on multiple levels a lot of times. All right, it's Editing Anthony here from the future. I hope y'all are enjoying this Walking Dead Season 4 marathon so far. But I wanted to cut in real quick because there was something else I thought about that I wanted to talk about this episode that I kind of mentioned briefly there, but didn't really talk about. But that's just the fact that in the TV show context, looking at it, Mika, not Mika, but what was her name? Lizzie. We're thinking about how, like, oh, she's crazy. This is insane. Like, it's kind of funny, like how wild she is, all this other stuff. But then when you think about it from like a real life context as well, like, Lizzie also was just somebody who, was dealing with a serious mental illness that there just, like I said, was not room for in the Walking Dead universe, in the world where they live, where all these resources have been like depleted. It's an apocalypse and all this. There's just not even room to be dealing with something like that because you don't have the medicine for it. You don't have the resources to provide any type of care for it. It's just really crazy and interesting to think about because, I don't know, it's something that I feel like it's not the first thing you think about in this type of world. You think about all the basic necessities that people are missing out on and are sometimes finding ways to make do of, but things like mental illnesses or just other disabilities or anything like that really do require specific types of assistance. You're basically done for out in this world. And I imagine I don't imagine they get into that any more than they really got into it here with Lizzie. But I don't know, it was just something that I thought about and I was like, dang, that's kind of sad to think about. And I think it is cool that however indirect it was. I don't know how intentionally it was that they did this, but I thought it was cool that they kind of actually had a storyline that sort of spoke to that and showcased that, because that's not the type of thing you usually see in, you know, apocalyptic stories and stuff. You don't tend to see representation in that type of area. So I don't know, I thought that was pretty cool that they went there and had a storyline like that. Okay, so please forgive my total and complete ignorance when it comes to classic literature, apparently, because I do not know anything about like Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. But they were talking about them this episode, so I kind of wanted to look it up a little bit just to see if there was any parallels or something. And I haven't really looked up that much. I don't know. But on the Wikipedia page where it describes the characters, and I know it says Huckleberry Finn is a boy about 13, 14 years old. He's been brought up by his father, the town drunk, and has a difficult time fitting into society. And they even said, what's her name? Lizzie was way more like Huck Finn. So, I mean, difficult time fitting into society. Obviously, Lizzie would have had a difficult time being around other people, like Carol kept on saying in this episode. I don't know if that was kind of foreshadowing that or if that fits in any kind of way. But I would not be surprised if all of that was pretty intentional and there was a lot more to that whole conversation that they had there. Because it seems like it definitely had a lot of, you know, it could have been foreshadowing something or just drawing a parallel with some things. So that's pretty cool. And there's probably a lot of other, you know, deep underlying plot points or things that I didn't really get to here. Because I feel like I see them, but I don't know how to articulate them. Or don't even know if I see them yet. So I don't know. But this was a pretty good episode. Really good episode. That I hope I'm doing some type of justice with this after episode discussion. Because I feel like there was a lot going on. But I also liked how they kind of did a little bit of a reference to another episode by showing all that smoke going up in the air, since that was probably Beth and Daryl. So, yeah, overall, I'm really liking this stretch of episodes right now. I really like how they're just really slowing down and kind of, you know, taking a microscope into all these different characters, and really just we're learning new things and discovering and finding out new things. So, I'm enjoying it. I guess until next time, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about the episode. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. Head over to Patreon for the full uncut reaction way ahead of the YouTube schedule. I'm Anthony. I'll see you all later.